Hey, brown girl. In a world that is set up to make you question who you are, take this time to reconnect to your greatness and speak to the inner depths of your soul. Your grace is undeniable. Your confidence is envied. You radiate and shine in every space you occupy. It's time to take back your power and remember who you are. Take a deep breath. Release all doubt and repeat after me. Today, I choose to walk in peace that will not be disturbed. I will allow my mind to exist in my unlimited future. I am breaking cycles of trauma on my bloodline. I will take up space without shrinking. My ideas will impact generations to come. I belong in the rooms that I walk into. Today, I will effortlessly walk in purpose. I attract peace and abundance. When my feet touch the floor, the day stands at attention. I am calm, confident, powerful, and filled with love. I trust myself to explore the possibilities of my heart's desires. Today, I rise with the power of my ancestors. It is okay to rest from productivity. I will live my dreams out loud. Creativity flows effortlessly through me. Emotions are welcome in my space and in my body. I am overflowing with abundance. It is time to create again. It is time to dream again. Every breath brings more joy, more peace, and more healing. I belong in every room that I walk into. Radical rest is my birthright. Inhale confidence and exhale doubt. Today, I choose gratitude. It is okay to not be okay. My testimony will be someone else's survival guide. I give myself grace and space on my journey. I show up every day as my full and complete self. Growth is difficult, but I trust that I am strong enough to do it. I will always be enough. I trust myself to set boundaries that will protect my peace. My peace is my superpower. Every step in the right direction is a step in the right direction. I believe I will receive what I need at the exact time that I need it. Someone smiled today because I am still here. I believe in my ability to do things that scare me. I put out the energy I wish to receive. I will stop apologizing for being myself. My mistakes do not define me. I was put on this earth to walk out my unique purpose. I let go of drama and embrace peace. I am attracting people that align with my peace and my joy. I am continuing to heal every day that I continue to breathe. I am confident that things are working out for my good. If it doesn't bring me joy, it isn't welcome in my space. I only strive to be a better version of myself. As I walk, I shine my light on my journey of purpose. I decide to wake up each morning and choose joy. I am manifesting my happiest self. Brown girl, it's time to shine.
Hey y'all, I'm Kimberly, and this is the Frolicking Truth, a soft space for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal. Here, joy meets justice. We calm our black ass nervous systems. We unmask and we leave behind whatever that is trying to kill us. You're seen here. You're safe here. And you don't have to do this alone.
Production, okay. I see you, sis. It's 11:11. Before we get started, make a wish really quick. My show is on. That was so cute. Like that actually worked the way that I wanted it to work. I don't now what I don't have yet are the sound effects and things. Also, why is my camera? Y'all, I'm back. I've been gone for a little while. Wait, hold on. That's what it was. I had knocked it over. Things was a little wonky. Um, that worked really well. That little flow. That little flow. Because every time this is what I be wondering. This is what I be wondering if the affirmation video is too much. Like I'd be like, do people be like, oh my God, girl, I ain't trying to be affirmed right now, or what? But what I have found is that every time I'm listening to it, now mind you, it's me, but listening to me. Every time I'm listening to it, I get something different. And that really is the purpose of affirmation videos. So y'all let me know. Also, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But also I want to hear what you want to say. That was so rude. Oh my God. But no, I'm curious about your input and maybe how it can feel even more effective. But yeah, that really flowed the way that I wanted it to flow. So shout out to production. You did that, girl. Shout out to production. So oh my gosh, there's so much. But wait, let me get focused and let me like do the things that need to get done because this might be your very first time being here. And I just be busting up in here like you've been here. But also, in all fairness, this is episode 58. And so we've been here a while. We've been here a while. But hey, what up? Come on in here, find a comfortable spot. Take a seat, grab you something to drink. I have some water here. I did not make my tea this morning, but I'm gonna do that when we finish. It's okay. But welcome to episode. See, I didn't have my air horn, so I got the truck driver outside to do me a solid. Oh my God. I have so many things I want to say. Okay, focus. This is episode 58 of the Frolicking Truth podcast for Black women who are tired, brilliant, and ready to heal, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. It is okay if you don't identify with any of those descriptors. It just means that when you come ready to listen, ready to learn, and ready to support. My name is Kimberland, and welcome to my world over here at the Frolicking Truth of the Things. Okay, oh my God, I'm so excited. The affirmation video sets the tone. I agree. That's how it feels for me too. For myself, even because I can't always say, it's really interesting when it's almost I'm having so many convergent thoughts right now. So y'all just buckle up for the ride. It's going to be a good time. I had a few thoughts right now because I thought about Pavlov's dog is one thing I thought about. Then I thought about superheroes and then I thought about I just finished watching Moon Knight. And in Moon Knight, the trigger, if you will, is like glass or mirrors or what have you. Um, and so, anyway, let me connect those dots. I can have my brain can be all over the place. And I know, so for example, this morning we had the healing circle, and then I finished the healing circle, and it was like, okay, it's time to get ready. But also, I haven't been live in a long time, right? So I'm like, Got to get back in the zone. Like, what does that look like? Like, I don't know. And then I started the affirmation video, and it was like, you know what to do. You sit down and do what you do. So it like switched my brain into, okay, let's get focused, and we're here and in the zone. So thank you for that. And yes, shout out to production. Okay. And at some point during this time while we're here, things are going to change too, because I'm back. It's a lot. Okay. So I have some announcements that I want to do, but I want to start out, I believe, with a couple auntie check-in moments. I think that's going to get enough of the things cleared out of the queue for me to be able to focus, because what is happening in my brain right now is my brain people are, they're so excited to be back. It's almost like the first day of school. Now, mind you, we was just gone for a month, but baby, let me tell you about July was the longest year that I ever had. Oh my God. Took me through there. Okay. Took me through there is what July did. Okay. Um, and so it feels like it's been forever. It feels like it's been forever. And now it feels like it's the first day of school. And they are remembering, this is what would happen as teachers is when we would come back from the summer, you can't remember your passwords. Like you got to reset up computers and all kind of things. Like it really you be got to get set up. That's what it feels like in my brain right now. And it also feels like the excitement of seeing your friends again, and seeing the kids coming in. If you're not an educator, you probably can't relate to any of this, but if you are, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But that's how it feels. It feels like my brain people are like, oh my God, and everybody's so excited. And also, this is not actually the first day of school. Now, I realize there are new people that are here. So let's get the procedures in place, if you will, so that we can function and so that we can flow. That's the meeting that's happening right now. So Christiana is in charge of that. Also, if you are not in touch with your brain people, you probably think that I'm stone cold nuts right now. And that's fine. That's fine. Because if you know, you know. And that's who I'm talking to. So Rolando said it was the Mercury retrograde. I know. It was the longest and listen, it took me through there. It took me through there. It took me through there. Y'all, I was dealing with themes of life, death, love, stability, like took me through there. Okay. What I was grateful for though is that we had taken this break, because the break allowed me to get slung all like a rag doll. This is how I described it. It was like, and if there's a particular, if I'm describing something in particular, tell me, because I don't know. A roller coaster. Okay. However, the roller coaster is in the dark. Okay. And so you get in, it's enough light for you to see to get into the roller coaster. Okay. Things get started, and it was 2 seconds in. It's already a death drop. It's already the loop and the whoop the whoop. It's already the swish and the swirl, and it gotta go everywhere. And every so often, you get an opportunity to be like, oh, look, there are stars. And then you get some. That's what this Mercury retrograde July felt like. Oh my God. It was so much going on. It was so much going on. Oh my God. And so I'm happy to be on the other side. So after you done got slung all up through there and taken through the things, then you pull back into the station and you're like, how am I supposed to walk straight after this? Like I got wait, I need hold on. Now let's sit down. And what just happened? That is what life and my brain people feel like right now. Okay. Accurate. LOL. No seatbelts. Man, like it was so wild. It was so wild. Also, I'm live right now, y'all. So if you're watching, you're able to come into the chat. Please do come into the chat and say hi and meet the community. Um, yeah, that was a lot. It was so much. There was so much that was going on in this month of July. And I really I was grateful that I had the break because I didn't have to like try to fix myself up and get myself together and be like, okay, while I'm also navigating all these things. So it really helped to have that opportunity. Um, and on the other side of things, I feel like I have some clarity about where I want everything to go. So I have some big announcements that I'm going to share. I'm so excited. Um, okay, let me see what this says. Then to add insult to injury, the roller coaster texts you after midnight talking about you up. Bruh, I got took through there. I was like, this is so crazy. Like, I don't understand. Which I knew. I wasn't unaware of it's almost like you signed up for this. Like not yeah, but like you signed up for this. Like you know you're about to go get on this roller coaster ride. You understand that they talking about is wow. And also on the other side of it, there's clarity. There's whatever, right? So that's what I had to keep in mind. So I feel like I didn't do it purposefully because I didn't know that the retrograde was coming up. It just kind of so happened, and then I was like, "Oh, well, this is good," because I know that it's going to be a lot. I just was feeling in my spirit like my brain was tired, and I was just like, I need to shut some things down for a second. But I'm glad that all of that aligned to be able to help me. Right. Let's Talk said, I mean, you did go into the theme park. Like, what did you expect? Like you came here for the ride, didn't you? Like, ain't that what you was here for, you know? Um, so yeah. So yeah. So July was it was a lot. It was just a lot. And I'm grateful to be on the other side of it, I'm grateful that, oh, so this is what I was going to say with the marathons. So since I wasn't here live, I did marathons and then we had a live premiere of the marathons. And so I found some people. Y'all. I have been telling y'all for a long time that I was like, because the people are coming. The people are coming. So, like, we have to get ready for the people. And some of y'all thought I was just talking. Some of y'all thought I was just talking. Also, I wasn't. Like I went to go get the people, you know? So during the marathons, I had copious amounts of time to have conversation with different people that have found our universe. And it was the most enjoyable, like fulfilling thing. I was listening to somebody the other day. Okay, I'm about to take a tangent, but y'all bring me back. Y'all bring me back to the people. I was having a conversation or witness to a conversation the other day about virtual versus physical community, if you will. And I was telling or listening to the conversation prioritize physical community. And it made me curious because like I'm curious about what y'all life was like during COVID. Because while COVID, I want you to hear what I'm saying in regard to what my life was like. I'm not talking to the tragedies and the death tolls and the collective trauma and all that. I'm not speaking to that part right now. My life during COVID was very quiet. I was home. I was spending a lot of time connecting virtually with people is when we would have the virtual what's the man name, DJ Nice, I think his name is. We would do the virtual DJ parties and people would be in the chat and they would be talking and they're like, I'm about to go to the store, and somebody be like, bring me back a pickle and some potato chips, and it's like everybody's just in there laughing and having a good time, but we were also at home. So it's like we built this virtual way to be able to connect to people. And then, so COVID was what, 2020, what, 19, 2021. By like 22, definitely by 23, it seems like people forgot that you can build community virtually. And it's, I don't know how we forgot. It just happened. Like we had just did it. We was just doing it. And so we need physical community. Like we do need to be able to have physical community. And right now I'm talking in regard to the holistic totality of all the things that are happening in the world, many of which I do not know because I have not been up to date on what is happening for real, for real. But from what I do know is that the world is continuing to shift. And when the world shifts, people shift. And when people shift, physical communities shift. And what is can always be a mainstay is the virtual community because you can tap in from wherever you are. And I think that maybe we didn't realize, I'm trying to be intentional with my words. Maybe we didn't realize that that was practice for what's finna happen. And if we invest in the infrastructure and intentionality of building virtual community, that many of us will be able to understand and find where the physical community is. Aha. Okay. This is good. This is good. Granola Flossin says, for we slightly older folks, the virtual community never clicked, right? So it was easy to walk away from it. And see, that's the thing is we need both. We need both because okay, hold on. We got more. Not that we didn't want to be in community, but it never really felt like we were fully connected. I understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. Thank you. Thank you for this. Because we need both. And so when I talk about like being a bridge, um I don't like, so I'm 45, right? And I feel like our generation, our millennial generation, and I guess I think the Gen Xers too, the younger Gen Xers, I think we are the bridge, if you will, between excuse me, the elders and the young people. And so for me, it's important to, because we know both worlds. Like we grew up in a time we saw the internet happen, which is crazy. But like we saw chat rooms happen. And for someone like myself, so mind you, I went to college in Nashville. And so prior to that was 1999 is when hey, party like it's 1999. Man, that was a good year. That was a good year. I had a really good senior year for the most part. Maybe I just want to remember the good parts. Anyway, we saw the internet come into being. We saw chat rooms and like virtual life and the MySpace, the Black Planet, the Facebook, like all of that, right? So we saw that happen. And we also remember what it was like when it wasn't there. And so we have to have both. And the virtual community is going to be a place where we'll be able to tap in to understand what's happening elsewhere, because I also want us to know that the information that is being received inside the US without the intentionality of seeking other media sources and other knowledge and information about what is going on in the world, you are going to be living in a bubble of controlled information. And so the only way that you're going to be able to actually know what's happening is to be connected to the virtual world. That don't mean you got to live there, right? But we got to know how to tap in and how to utilize it so that we're able to make sure we taking care of each other. Because in a moment we finna be isolated, right? And that's why I say we still have physical, we still need physical community. We need both. And we also, if I don't know how to, well, we got to have a rudimentary understanding. But if I don't know how to do that, I need to know who does know how to do that, so I can make sure that I understand what's happening around me if I need to shift. I hope all that made sense. I hope all that made sense. Feel free to ask questions in the chat if you have them. Let me see what y'all talking over here. Understandable and agreed. I'm a digital native, but I've also always thought I was grown. So I like the two worlds to merge as often as possible. Yeah. Um, so I said that to say when I was talking about Christiana is here, that is my chief of staff. So she's like, and this is where we left off. I love it when my brain people work the way that I would like them to. That's a great feeling. So anyway, so when I was talking about I was going to find the people, the marathons were one of the ways that I was able to find our people. And so the people are coming. And so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Shout out to you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the keepers in the archive and the inner circle and the folks that are over in our Patreon community, which is also growing. And I want to tell y'all about some of the things that we are doing. And then I have some announcements, really big announcements that I want to make that I am very, 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 very excited about. Okay. So yeah, so hey Abby. So yeah, this is what I was gonna say before I get into the things. This is what I found out when I found our people, is that I found out I'm a nerd. And I did not know that. It was like really new information. I'm happy about it, but I did not know that prior to that. So what had happened was during the marathon, right? The people was in there talking. So I'm talking to the people and I'm watching them talk and all of that. And so somebody was like, oh my God, I don't remember how it went, but it was kind of like, oh my God, that's so cool, or we'll do this or something like that. And then somebody else was like, okay, blurs or nerds unite or something. I'm so glad I found us, or something to that effect. And I said, I saw it and I said, oh, Cause these are people I roll with. You feel me? I'm like, man, y'all been in here tough. Like these my people. We clicking hard. And then they was like, yes, Blur Gang. What up? What up? I say, come to find out, I'm a nerd. I really didn't know. And so what is happening? So we we have come back from so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese. Came back last week. No, what's today, Jesus? That was Sunday. Sunday, so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese, came back. And um I was telling Kalanda about that this revelation that I'm a nerd. And then Kalanda was like, that's the first time that you ever that you this is new information. And I was like, yeah, like I never thought about myself as a nerd. And this is the thing. Every time I say that, everybody has had the exact same reaction. Every time. They're like, so you never thought about yourself as a nerd, and I'm not even lying, y'all. I'm so serious. I'm not trolling, because that's the other thing. Yesterday we had the girl. Oh my god, we did pasta and prosecco yesterday, and it was so good. Well, we nobody had prosecco. We did pasta and popping drinks, but we made pasta yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that. But anyway, oh my god, there's so much. One of my friends is in there from college, and she was like, no, I thought you was trolling for real. And I'm like, I'm not like, I never thought about myself as a nerd. And so, but this the thing what people always say when they're like, clearly you're a nerd, they're like, but you wear glasses. And I'm like, that don't mean shit. That just mean I can't see. Like that. Then it was like, you're a scientist. And then I was like, okay, I'll give you that. 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 But this is the reason why I wasn't connecting. Real talk, real life. Okay. From so I graduated in, I'm just doing this for time's sake. Also, I don't care about people thinking I'm old or whatever. I'm grateful to be 45 and I'm looking forward to 50. But I'm not fast forwarding it. But anyway, I graduated in 2003. Okay. I really didn't exist in the science world for real outside of science instruction and education. And education has a way of making you feel like what you do is not ever good. Like you're never good enough to do, like you always need to be doing better. Like the system of education is set up that way, and specifically for educators. And so what happened is I kind of like left the scientific part of me outside of teaching, right? I'm real life teaching, kids science. And when we would get to life science, because my degree is in biology. So it's like when we would get to life science, I'm going in, you feel me? Like, but also when we would talk about planets, I ain't got nothing for you, man. Let me tell you, I want to publicly apologize to my first year of students, because y'all know I ain't go to school to be a teacher. I don't know if y'all know that. I did not go to school to be a teacher. I did alternative certification. But anyway, my first group of kids that first year, shout out to my first group of students. Yeah, I didn't know what I was doing, like for real. I knew the science stuff for the most part, but there were days like I would go back in and I would be like, y'all tear that page out. We did that wrong. That was wrong. So tear that out. But rocks and things, we didn't do a good job with those. I don't know about rocks. Like that's not, I don't know anything about rocks at all. They're pretty sometimes, and oftentimes they are dirty because they're on the ground. Like, I don't know that kind of science, right? So, in that, I'm teaching general science. And so I know what I know, but I also don't know a lot. I don't know oceanography. I don't know astronomy. That's not what I studied. Now, get me over here in this biology, chemistry, and physics, and we could rock out. But the educator side of me like was coming to the front the most. That was the biggest thing. So I kind of like left the scientist part of me. It just was in the background, just hanging out until one day I was talking about what I do. And because I'm always running some kind of science experiment. I don't necessarily talk about it, but I'm always doing experiments all the time. And I had that moment with myself and I was like, girl, you always doing experiments. And I was like, of course, bitch, you a scientist. And I was like, I am a scientist, huh? That's crazy. I am. So once I had reintegrated that, okay, I'll give you that. That makes me a nerd. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Then my cousin is like, and you always went to science school during the summer, and you always was doing quiz bowls. Let me tell you something about me, baby. Put me in for the quiz bowl. You understand me? Put me in for the quiz bowl. Okay, I'm finna listen. From 7th grade to 12th grade, I used to spend every summer at Xavier University. They had summer programs, right? And they would do there was Math Star, which helped you with algebra, Bio Star helped you with biology, Chem Star helped you with chemistry, and then they had 2 years of SOAR, and that would help you prepare for the SAT. So what happened for me is going into the school year. So I did this academy or whatever. They teach you the tricks of the trade, baby. You're gonna be out here the foundationals, right? So I always came in ahead. I did it the summer going into 8th grade. 8th grade, we had algebra. I'm top of the class. I already know this. I already did it over the summer. So that's how my life was, right? Okay, that's some nerd shit, right? But anyway, so then every year they would have a quiz bowl. And so the algebra quiz bowl, I would have, baby, I'm doing these calculations up there. I was But this is the thing. This is the thing. And this is why, because I'm not trolling y'all, I promise. I'm so serious. This is why I didn't make the connection that I wasn't a nerd. Or that I was a nerd. Because I was thinking my idea of nerd looks nothing like me. My idea of nerd is like somebody who was socially awkward, didn't have any friends, getting stuffed in lockers. They wear pocket protectors. They have, I don't know, like, yeah, see, Abby said they have pocketbooks and calculators and like all of that. I wasn't on that. Nah. I had some swag down to the places. Okay, I wasn't on that. I wasn't on that. Okay, I wasn't on that. But also, you right, Rolando, talking about Kimberly was in middle school at home religiously watching Jeopardy, so she could flex on these fools for the quiz bowl. Listen to me. Flex on these fools. Y'all ain't finna be ready. I didn't realize that was nerd shit though, right? Because again, at the other programs, we all cool. We out, man. Well, all of us wasn't. Some of them was nerds. I enjoy science fairs. LOL. And I went to school in the hood. There's a lot of underground nerds getting hyped for science. Listen, I am fully embracing my nerddom, blurreddom. Okay, blurred is black nerd. Now, this is the thing: is I don't know the lingo. I'm new here. I'm new here. I guess I've just been on the outside looking in. So I need y'all to to show me the ropes, if you will. You feel me? But I'm fully embracing it because y'all right. It's been there the whole time. It was just my life, and so I wasn't thinking nothing about it. And then even how in high school they have the senior superlatives. I was voted most intelligent. I didn't. I mean, but also I'm cool. I have to deal with my nerd bias is what I need to do. I have to deal with my nerd bias, and I need to unpack my nerd bias because I also have been busting other people's nerd bubbles and they didn't know either. So like Kalanda on So You Don't Put Step on Your Girl Cheese, she was like, yeah, she was like, you and my mom, like both of y'all are nerds, and I'm like, oh, you think your mom's a nerd? She was like, yes. Like, and then her mom was in the chat and she was like, wait, I'm a nerd. I'm about to pee myself. Oh my God. So we've been bursting nerd bubbles around here. But what I want to say is hello to our people. Do we have y'all got to hit me to the game. I don't wanna do the wrong things and put the community in jeopardy. But all I'm telling you is our people are here. Okay. And so you might not identify currently as a nerd, and also you might stick around a little while. You be like, they're talking good. They talking good. So I'm just saying, I just share my experiences so that you all are also able to share your experiences as well and identify with what is happening in your own life. Okay, that's what I'm here for. All right, let me pause right here and do these announcements because oh my God, we have a really important announcement. Okay. Okay, so the first thing I want to do again is remind you all of the archive and come to hang out with us in the archive. That is where we are building this community of folks who are creatives and who are looking to impact the world and prepare and build this virtual community that we're talking about. Basically, the archive is a portal full of creatives and creators and people who support creations where you're able to enter other people's universes. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about those folks in right now. I also want to let you know the archive is under construction. Okay, so things might be moving around, and I need you to have patience with what's going on, but we're finding our people, okay, and we're getting the things organized and getting the spaces together. All right, so I do want to give you that heads up that we are under construction. Okay, so shout out to Erica, who challenged us to create a calendar to put things on the calendar. So this is a crossover calendar between Minding My Black Ass Business, which is this network here, and the Let's Talk Sis Sisterhood, which is Shekinah's network. And so I'm going to talk to you a lot about Shekinah in just a moment. But this is the calendar event. So what we have going on in August. As you can see, there's a lot of programming. Okay. So right now we're here on the Frolicking Truth. And this morning we had the Healing Circle. We do not have an episode of Heal That Shit. We are actually going to delay that coming back until later this month. So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Girl Cheese is back live. And in between the lives, we're running marathons again so that you're able to collect your lore, okay, for what is happening in that universe and understand what's going on down to the toasties and all of that. Okay, so take your screenshots, do your things. Do the things, okay? Do the things and make sure you got the understandings of what's going on. So the Healing Circle, I just mentioned we had it this morning. It was so good. I did remember to record some of it, so I'm going to post that on the social medias and things. But the Healing Circle is the space for Black women to reconnect back to their bodies and to their breath. And it is facilitated by Vanessa, the Well Educator. She is a trauma-informed yoga instructor. And so she led the flow today really focused on heart, and I feel like I grew a couple inches because she had us doing something like you had to put your hands like this and then you hold your fingers like this, like pew pew, and then you got to lean to the side and to the side, and baby them spinals was like and I needed that because this ain't been to a chiropractor in forever. Okay. But anyway, so the Healing Circle happens every second Saturday of the month. Okay. So the next Healing Circle will be August No, that's today. Damn, it's August, y'all. That's crazy. Um, the next healing circle will be September 12th. Okay, September 12th. And so you can register for that by going to tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. Tinyurl.com/Black Women Healing Circle. I already mentioned that, so you don't put. Now, y'all got to quit cutting up. Now, we talking. They cutting up outside. So you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese is back. That is the podcast with me and my cousin Kalanda, where we talk about things that we thought were normal in our life, but it was actually the family recipe of dysfunction. And so we talk about that. We talk about mental health. We talk about healing. Kalanda has, since we've started, so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese, Kalanda has left the US and has been out here. In different countries and living and exploring and all of that. And so it's a good time over there, because one thing we gonna do is laugh and have some ADHD rabbit holes and chasing squirrels and carrying on. Okay, so you don't put syrup on your grilled cheese takes place every, what is it, first and third Sunday of the month, right here on the network at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Just Ask Kim happens every Wednesday, and this is for the folks who are in the archive. This is a place where we are able to talk a little bit deeper about all of the things that I was sharing a moment ago in regards to building virtual community and how we can show it for each other. So this is a space where we're able to do that. You're able to ask me questions. And that takes place exclusively in the archive every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. This is another Patreon exclusive event called Season 1. And Season 1 is a rewatch podcast. And currently we are rewatching Girlfriends, my girlfriends. And it's been so long since I've watched Girlfriends that it actually feels like the very first time that I have ever watched Girlfriends. It's a really good time though. And what we do, some of the work that we're doing behind the scenes is building out series and looking at the way that stories are developed and character development and set design and things of that nature. So the Season 1 Rewatch podcast gives us some time to talk about things from different production standpoints. So whether it is writing or hair and makeup or character development or comedic timing, we each take on a lens and then we talk about what was happening in that episode through the lens of Girlfriends and such. So if that sounds like something that you might be interested in, please do come and hang out with us. Season 1 Rewatch podcast happens every second and third Friday of the month in combination with the Let's Talk Sis Sisterhood. So Shekinah and I are the hosts, and then we have whoever else that is there. They're free to be a part of the conversation, either on camera or in the chat. We also have co-working time on Thursday. We need a name for the co-workers. Like co-workers feels like so obvious, but I feel like we need something else for the coworkers because yeah, like it's the whole vibe over there down to the co-working. So basically every Thursday here, right here on Minding My Black Ass Business on YouTube, we have Thursday co-working. We start out with a mindset moment where we talk about something in regards to our brains, our mindsets, and how we get ourselves in head in the game, or how do we honor our head is not in the game. So we have those conversations. Then we have a chunk of time where we do some working. So we just vibe out to music and work on our different projects. And then we record Brands, Business, and Boundaries, which is a podcast where we talk about those things and what accountability looks like in regards to birthing the things that we want to do out here in this world. So that is every Thursday. Is open to the public. And so we go live right here on Minding My Black Ass Business. Okay. Found Her Future is a space that we have where it's an internship mentorship program for women who are 18 and up. You do not have to be a Black woman. However, it is Black women centered, and we celebrate celebrate Black women. So know that coming into the space. But Found Her Future is an opportunity for Black women to experience a pivot and really understand more about who they are and how they want to impact the world. So every participant in Found Her Future goes through Discover Your Destiny, which is my life coaching curriculum. And so they come out of Discover Your Destiny fully aware of what their gifts are. And then we take what the impact that they want to make and we build that out. And so Shekinah leads us through the metamorphosis, which allows us to transform all of those things into an actual universe being birthed. So right now we're in the middle of our first cohort, and I'm gonna tell y'all. So I be in the planning space and stuff, but I be in there with my notebook because let me tell you what my specialty is not. My specialty is not marketing and branding and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that stuff like that. Okay. That is why I be sitting down there like, okay, now what we need to do about what and so all of the stuff that you all have seen that has developed and has become more clear and like the branding and all of that is Shekinah. Okay. She is the mastermind behind the scenes with all of this, right? So, in the second part of Found Her Future, Shekinah is supporting in and teaching us how to think about the foundational things that go into building a brand so that we're able to have brand clarity and speak from a place of confidence in the things that we do. Okay, so I want to give us a moment here. I need to drink some water. Okay, and so I'm going to play this commercial really quickly for Discover Your Destiny. If you are curious about Discover Your Destiny, you can learn a little bit more about it here. What if the thing you've always called too much was the exact thing God designed on purpose? This is for the ones who've always known they were different. Too sensitive, too loud, too knowing, too intuitive, too woo-woo. But what if your sensitivity is actually your superpower? What if your intuition was your inheritance? Discover Your Destiny is a 10-week sacred journey back to yourself. We explore the design of your soul, your spiritual gifts, and the unique way that God speaks to you. This isn't church. It's not a rule book. It's not a performance. It's the moment you stop chasing approval and start walking in divine alignment. You'll gain clarity, language, and confidence around who you are and what you are here on the earth to do. You'll learn the real voice of God. And if you feel called to go on to become a certified intuitive melanated life coach, this is where that path begins. There are 2 ways to enter this sacred container: the Destiny track, full investments and coaching experience, or the Divine Exchange track, where internship meets soul work. You'll support podcasting, content creation, or brand development behind the scenes while learning how your unique gifts benefit the collective. Your knowing isn't a flaw, it's the fingerprint of God. This is your invitation, and I hope that you'll answer. I just want to say, okay, production. I just want to say, okay, production, like for reals. Oh my gosh. I be like stepping back and then looking at what's happening. I'm like, this is how I've been wanting it to look. This is the things. So yeah. So anyway, if you are interested in Discover Your Destiny, go to dyd25.com and you'll be able to get more information there. There's also a playlist here on the network where you're able to learn more about how Discover Your Destiny came about, the journey to that, my journey to becoming a life coach. So if you want to know, go to the playlist, honey, and get the things together. Okay. Also wanted to uplift. I am looking for mental health specialists, specifically Black women, and then after Black women, Black men. And then after that, well, not after, but alongside that are Hispanic women. So, and these are the specialties that I'm looking for. So if this is you or somebody that you know, I need you to point them my direction, and then I'm going to tell you what the ask is. So I need people who are specialists in trauma and somatic practices. specifically practices like EMDR or things kind of in that nature outside of, I think they call it the CBT, but more so in regards to somatic practices. I'm also looking for people who specialize in late diagnosed neurodivergence and understanding the setting up of systems and how the life of it all, like how to manage that and support that in understanding one's brains. Those are the areas that are rising to the top right now. This is what the ask is. The ask is that those mental health specialists will have a sliding scale that allows for accessibility and or be willing to donate 3 to 5, preferably 5 sessions, for people who may be entering who need support in those areas. And so if you are, that sounds like you are somebody you know, if you go to tinyurl.com/KJU mental health directory and register on the mental health directory, and that will allow, I need to move this link up so y'all can see it. I'll fix that for next time. But that will allow them to register and then I can reach out. What's happening is that people are coming into the universe and they need support. And I am not, let me move this off of here so y'all can make sure y'all see me when I say this. I am not a mental health specialist. Okay. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm a life coach, intuitive melanated life coach, and also not a mental health specialist. And so I want to make sure that there is partnership and infrastructure that is set up for people getting to mental health specialists when they need them, because we gonna need them. We all need them already, but we gonna need them most. So if you all can support me in that, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay. A couple more things I want to show and share, and then we'll have our announcements. Okay, hold on, wait. I lost my screen. There we go. Okay, the Collective Exchange is a partnership with Shekinah and I. This is basically an opportunity to find jobs and or internships and or barter opportunities to be able to create a mutually beneficial exchange. We try as much as possible over in this universe to operate on a barter system, in order to support the things that we otherwise might not have access to. And so the Collective Exchange is a place where we're going to be housing those opportunities. So I'm giving y'all a heads up that this is coming on live, and once we get everything set up in the next couple weeks or so, then I'll let y'all know that it's live. But I want you to know that we're collecting opportunities for you to grow and expand or build resumes, to be able to learn particular skills in regards to production and content and all of that. So if you're somebody who is thinking about that, or you know somebody who is, please send them my
Regulate to
direction.
educate.
Hold on. So this is a video that I'm going to show you. I wrote a curriculum with my mentee in New Orleans. Her name is Vanessa. She is the well educator. She's the one, when I mentioned the healing circle, she facilitates the healing circle spaces. And when Vanessa and I met, I was like, what do you want to do? With your gifts, and what do you want that to look like? And her thing is teacher wellness. She was an educator, a classroom educator. She's still an educator, but she was a classroom educator who experienced burnout very early into the educational career. And so she knows what that feels like, and is on this campaign to support others in not having to experience that, and getting schools to create the infrastructure for teacher wellness. A lot of times in education, we prioritize the kids, which we need to, right? But also the people who teach the kids also need to be well, because the kids don't have fully developed frontal lobes. The adults do. So that means that we're the ones who are supposed to be emotionally intelligent in the space. So what I'm gonna tell you from what I know working down in these schools, baby, is that the adults be the problem. Is what I want you to know, is that the grown folk be the problem every time. Every time. Okay. So we really have to deal with ourselves as adults. And that's whether you're an educator or not. I'm talking adulthood across the board. We got to get ourselves together, okay? Because we are supposed to be the model and the ones who are able to teach those who are learning how to have healthy emotional regulation and healthy relationships with our brains and with our bodies. So Vanessa and I created this professional development, and it's called Regulate to Educate. And so I want to show you. Oh, so she just facilitated it with a group of educators, early childhood educators. This was maybe 2 weeks ago, and it was an amazing time. And we got to see it on full display. Now, mind you, I'm here in Columbia, so I'm like, oh my God, send me the pictures and the things. But it was a really great time. So I want to give us a chance to check that out. Oh wait, hold on. Where my thing at? There you go.
Regulate to Educate isn't just another professional development session. It is a wellness experience and a reminder that educator well-being is essential, not optional. Together, we explore the science behind the nervous system, practice simple regulation strategies, and experience what it feels like to pour into ourselves before pouring into others. Because when educators learn to regulate themselves, they create classrooms where students feel safe, supported, and ready to learn. Wellness isn't separate from teaching. It is the foundation that makes great teaching possible. But don't hear it from me. Hear it from the lovely early child care educators that got to experience this workshop themselves.
Okay, and I got all of that, by the way.
I had a blast, y'all. This was a great experience. Y'all should try it out.
We learned a lot about like the 4 layers of the brain and what they do and how they respond to stimuli. That was really interesting.
And I'm gonna implement that in the classroom daily. When they come in the morning, we're gonna have openness, of calmness, and we're gonna breathe. We're gonna let it in, and we're gonna relax it out. We're gonna take it in, and we're gonna let it out.
A lot of times we need that emotional regulation to really stay engaged and help regulate other kids, because we can't help regulate others if we can't understand how to regulate ourselves.
So shout out to Vanessa and the well educator and the educators that were there. I saw your comment, Abby. Where did it go? She said, "I love how many things you offer, Kimberly." Let me tell y'all. That's why I said, let me tell them what I be doing, because people don't know like what I be doing, and so all of these are ways that I intentionally am making sure that I'm doing what I can to support, even though I might not be in the space. Vanessa, again, is in New Orleans, and I'm from New Orleans. And while I've never wanted to live in New Orleans, I've always had a heart to impact what is happening there. And so it was really a divine opportunity for us to connect and for her to be so passionate and an expert in movement and breath work. I forget how many people are not aware of strategies that we can use to be able to regulate our emotions. I forget that because I, have done the work to figure out how to regulate my own. But there are many people who have not had these strategies. And so what we've done with this curriculum is inquiry-based learning is a way that I teach, and we use a formula, and it's called ABC before CBV. It means activity before concept and concept before vocabulary. And what that means is the way that we set it up is so that you have an actual tangible experience with what we're asking you to do before we talk to you about what was happening during that time. So the educators have a chance to go through calming exercises, and then we talk about how we work up from our downstairs brain to our upstairs brain. And so the strategies we were just using are the strategies that you can use to support yourself and to support your students and to support the people around you. And so it's really amazing for them to walk out of a space with understanding, a better understanding of their brain without convoluting it with so many scientific words. Because I ain't gonna lie, down to the science, we be using some words. And what the hell does that even mean? We be up there talking about endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, deoxyribonucleic acid. Like, cut it out. It's too much. It's too much. So we were able to give it to them in small chunks. And I'm really excited about what we've created. So it's a 5-part series where we go through the 5 social emotional competencies, and each one supports educators in creating a wellness plan for themselves. Okay, because we got to be all right as adults. Okay, before we get to talking about doing things with kids. Okay, all right. I need a drum roll down to the chat. I need a drum roll down to the chat. Okay, I need a drum roll down to the chat. I need y'all to tap the screen because I'm about to share a big announcement. I'm about to share a big announcement. And I need the things. Okay. So I've been talking about Shekinah quite a few times. And we cooked something up behind the scenes. And she presented a proposal to me that I want to share with you all of what the next season of life looks like for us. Okay. And so let me get it here up on the screen. I am the new co-host of the Let's Talk Sis podcast. Wow. Yeah. Burr, 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 burr. Right at 12:12. I couldn't have planned it better myself. That's what's up. So yeah, Shekinah asked me to one of the things that she had been working with me on getting all of my universes birthed and all of my things together. And she was working with me on that. She was like, I need the brand bestie myself. I need to figure out where I'm going in this next season. And so as she was thinking about the next phase of the Let's Talk Sis podcast, she said, I really want to talk, sis. Like, I really want to talk. And let me tell you something about me and Shekinah. We can talk. Okay, and we be talking about all kind of random stuff. We have coffee on Fridays, and this past Friday, I was making breakfast. And I want to say she was running the errands or something, and she's like, what did she ask me? What color is 7? Or something like, we just really just be vibing and just flowing. And so I'm really, really excited about this opportunity to partner with her in this space. So we are going to be doing pre-recorded episodes with live premieres. So we're going to do our first chunk of pre-recording August 15th, and that's going to be exclusive to the Patreon. That's a Saturday. And that's next Saturday. That's going to be exclusive to those of you who are in the archive. You'll be able to come and join us for that live recording. And then our first episode premieres, it's September, is it the 10th? September 10th. Our first episode is going to premiere, and then we'll have live premieres on Thursdays. So then we'll be in the chat and able to hang out. So yeah. Yay! So I'm really excited about this. And this is one of the things about choosing ourselves is that we eventually get to a life that allows us to do the things that we want to do, and they don't feel like work. So we have the opportunity to and also being a creative, like we got to create, like it just comes out, like if it doesn't, then it's hard to, we can't function, like we got to make something type thing. And so it's really cool to be partnering with people and have spaces with people where it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like I have to think about so many things and I gotta figure out like what to do. It's like, girl, we gonna show up and talk, girl. I got you, girl, because that's something we could do, sis. We know how to talk. So we have been collecting different things that have been happening. For instance, we're gonna talk about my thoughts and our thoughts in regard to the bonnet conversation that was happening. And what else? Something else came up the other day. Oh, giving gifts is something that we got a whole list. We got a whole list of all of these things that will allow us to have the conversations. Now, we got a good question here, and I'm glad. Is it possible to celebrate without sounding like Wendy Williams? I'm not sure. This is not like tea like that. You know what I mean? Like it is, one thing I feel like with Wendy Williams, my views on her is that she was like really, really controversial and often messy. I don't do messy. I don't do that. You know, um, there's a way to be able to have a conversation and have a conversation, and explore things. And so I'm looking forward to the conversations that we're going to be able to have on Let's Talk Sis podcast. Okay. Yay. So having said that, Shekinah is also working on becoming a DJ, y'all, which is okay. Obviously, I mean me. Got you. Shekinah is working on becoming a DJ, which is like, that's crazy. Also so cool. And like she was doing a DJ set the other day. So she's practicing. I want to say she was on TikTok. So she's practicing on TikTok. Okay. I think I was watching Josh Johnson, if I'm not mistaken. And then I was cooking dinner. Okay. So I'm cooking and vibing and laughing, right? It was such a good time for me. And I said to myself, more people need to do this. I'm going to take you back to what was going down in my life during COVID. When them verses used to come on and the DJs used to be having their different sets, because they used to be on like sometimes 24 hours. DJ D Nice, he used to be on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And I would have my earbuds in. And y'all ever been to a silent party? When you have the headphones and you have your own stations up in there, you can be jamming to your own vibe. That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And that's what it was like when I was in here listening to her DJ, watching the comedy and doing the thing. I said, I need another device to set up because you couldn't hear anything. It was in my ears. It was in my ears. Okay, you couldn't even hear nothing. But I was in here like, oh, that's my jam, girl. Yes, girl. I used to be in the club, girl. Like big auntie energy. Big auntie energy. See, that was the first, this the thing, Simon. The first thing I had to accept, I think, was the auntie-ness, hood, auntiedom. I had to accept that first. And then I think after that, then the nerd came. I think it was stages to it. But big auntie vibes, right? And it is like it's one of my favoriteest things. I have a good time with myself. I love where I live. And I also have these LED lights and I can change them and it can feel like I'm in the club or I'm in a different place. I'm in a different universe. It's the bestest thing ever. And so I said all that to say, I was thinking to myself, how can we create this vibe for other people? Because again, sometimes we forget that virtual community, you could still be having a good time. So guess what we gonna do, y'all? Guess what we gonna do? We gonna have us a virtual day party. We gonna have us a cookout, y'all. We're gonna have us a cookout, y'all. It's gonna be on Sunday, September 6th, from 2 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And so it's gonna take place on Zoom. You can register for this by going to tinyurl.com/the archive cookout. Okay. So you can register there to be a part of it. You are going to have to turn on your cameras. Okay. So that we are aware of who you are. And, we come into the cookout. We don't come into the cookout masked up. Okay. We coming in here as people. Okay. And so we're going to have different things that are happening all day, podcast marathons, games and activities. We're going to have a gift contest. Okay. So we've been collecting our different prompts for the gift contest for the folks who be out there to the giftery. So get your favorite gifts on deck. Okay. Cue them up. Have them ready to go. And also, we're going to be ready to throw y'all for some twists. So we're going to do that. We are also going to do cocktail making. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Hold on. I'm going to put this back up in just a second. Last night, Shekinah had pasta and Prosecco over in the Let's Talk Sis universe. And so we made fresh pasta. I had never made it before. I learned a lot. It was quite the experience. It was my first time ever. It was a good time. I can change a lot of things. Also, it was really good. Like the pasta was really light and it just is sometimes when I eat pasta that's already prepackaged, it like feels heavy in my stomach. It didn't feel like that at all. It was a good time. It was a good time. And we had a what do we call it? Italian mob wife names. Every time that we do a girls' night in, we have alter ego names. Okay, let me see if I can find where did I put. Oh, I no wait, dang, I can't pull it up on this. Hold on, I'm about to let y'all. I'm gonna post this on socials in a little bit, but I'm finna pull up this video. I'm gonna let y'all listen to it. Cause why am I like this? We were going in and out of accents all night because we're making pasta. My name. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find it. Hold on a moment. Here we go. Here we go. Thank you, Queen St. Francesca Red Lip Esposito here. We're here at the girls' night in. Gonna make some pasta. Thank you. Francesca. What is it? What's my name again? Hold on. Thank you, Queen Pen Francesca Red Lip Esposito. Okay. That was my name. We went down to making some pasta. Okay. So I had on a red lip. Okay. And then we had the Don that was there, as well as Boss Lady. Okay. And so the whole time that we're there making the pasta, and we were talking about, what's his name? Oh, damn. I can't remember. Hold on. What's his name? Somebody got thrown in the river. It comes with the job. It comes with the job. But anyway, so we were having so much fun doing that. We want to do that kind of stuff. So we're not going to do pasta at the cookout, but we are going to do like a mocktail making situation. So you can have, your mocktail things on deck and we can be sharing about what we're drinking or a cocktail. If you want a cocktail, you want to put a little something in it, ain't nobody judging what you do with your life. You understand? So cocktail, mocktails, what did somebody call it? A social tonic. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to be doing that on Sunday, September 6th. Mark your calendars now to come and hang out with us at the cookout. Okay. Queen Pen, Francesca Red Lip Esposito. Okay. So So yeah, it was so much fun. It was so much fun last night, and I'm having a really good time with thinking about the different spaces that we are building out. I'm getting really excited about the music spaces. There are a lot of things that I want to talk about in regards to music and taking journeys into people's universes and worlds. Listen, Rolanda, talking about, oh, the gift contest is mine. They low key, Rolando and Elby have this gift. I'm finna win this beef battle, if you will, between me. Because I be like, I told Rolando that you said you was coming for him. Then Rolando be like, I'm finna do this. I got this. I'm excited for what that's gonna look like. And I also want us to have commentary. Like I want the commentators to be talking about what's happening in the chat, because of course gifts, they're happening in the chat. So it's going to be conversations in the chat, but then also the commentators commenting on what's happening in the chat. I have a whole vision. It's going to be a good time. Speaking of that, I didn't list this earlier, but I'm looking for animators. Like, you know how sometimes people would take videos and like animate them and create like reanimations of a scene. I'm looking for folks who do that. So if anybody knows people who do that, if you can send them our direction, because we have so many ideas for different like skits and things and all of that. So yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that. Yes, yes. So Rolando said even made a New Orleans deep cut just for you. He's talking about the gift, man. I can't wait to see this. Ah, oh my God. Oh my God. This is going to be funny. This is going to be funny. Also, we're literally creating these things out of our imagination. We're literally creating these things out of our imagination. And so if you are somebody who is um wanting to have like the freedom to be able to create, somebody had so many, I think maybe it was Naya the other day. She was like, you know, it's really cool to like see, to have a conversation about something, and then that conversation winds up developing into something. It's like, what would be cool if we could do da 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 da. And it's like, and we can. Let's do that. Yeah, it's really cool. So if you're someone who loves that kind of environment, we your kind of people. Because we really just be sitting down imagining shit and being like, we can do that. We can make that happen. Or how do we adapt that from a physical concept into a virtual concept? Like, how do we make that happen? And what does that look like? And how do we use art and media to be able to get messages to people and to be able to support people in um, remaining in contact with their joy? I appreciate the comedians right now a lot, because that's why Josh Johnson is one of my favorite comedians, because it's one of the ways that I stay in touch with some of the bigger stories, because usually he's infusing it into his show in some type of way. But watching him build this following of people who are committed to the truth, and also the like, it's so ridiculous it's comical. Like it's like, do y'all let me ask y'all, do y'all really be seeing what's happening like in the world, or are y'all more so kind of just tapped out and not paying attention? Because it's a lot that's going on. It's a lot that's going on. And also, it is so interesting to like take a step back, because if you were watching, it was some years ago, I said, I was like, the US is a reality show. Like, this is a full on reality show. And it's so much more of a reality show now. And the craziest thing is it's like really impacting real people. Like, it's not, but also they're literally like producing and throwing spaghetti at the wall and like running stories and spinning stories and planting stories, and just like it's this is crazy. You got to laugh at that, like the ridiculousness of it. Like, we've got to be able to find the the level of ridiculousness while also holding space for the outrage and what we're going to do with it. um Granola Flossin said, that's my birthday, so the premiere has to be dope. All right, well, we putting it into the atmosphere. You heard me? I love that. I love that. Let me see it. I love Josh. I don't know why are people giving Josh hell? What Josh do? Tell me more things. Boy, these folks, they would be doing the most with anything. I schedule time to tap in. It's on my calendar. And that's what I be saying too. Like, I remember back in my day, when the show was on and you got to be there to see the show because the show was on at that time. Like, that's not just watching Josh's show, but also them being in the chat during the live premiere. The show was on and we all watching together. He did it wasn't this past, it wasn't, what's today, y'all? Today is Saturday. He did, not this week, but the week before, it was an episode where he was talking about billionaires and talking about Elon. And Elon had got mad about Black people being in something. I don't know. I don't follow that man. But anyway, he did this mic drop moment at the end of the show, and it was like 10,000 people that were in the chat. And everybody in the chat was like, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire emoji, fire. Like, it was crazy. You know how the youngsters, the streamers down there on Twitch be like, all right, chat, look, like, it was so crazy. And Josh is in there. He's in the chat. So he'll chime in every so often and say something or add additional context or whatever. That's a community of people, and that's a way to be able to disseminate information when you have people all there at one time having this shared experience. So to Abby's point, I don't be wanting to not know what's going on, but I also cannot go deep down into all the things because I will spiral. For example, the new president here is taking office tomorrow. There are some new flags that are coming about. Or, well, I'm not gonna say they're new. Let me be intentional, because I don't know what the flags mean or where they come from or what the age of the flags are. There are now flags that are being displayed for him coming into office that were not previously displayed. And because I know how this man has affiliated himself, then that makes me very aware of my surroundings, right? Just like when I was in the US, um, I knew that if I went into an area that had a bunch of American flags, that that's not a safe place for me, right? And so I'm seeing that happen, you know? And so I need to be aware. And also, though, I can't hyper focus on it, because then I will really just like have the gravity of what all of this really means comes crashing down on oneself. And that's a lot. So, yeah, I appreciate Josh because it gives me a chance to be able to take things in from a comedic lens, and then I can go and do additional research should I choose. Okay, now let me see. Rolando say the people got a beef with Josh. What they talking? A lot of content creators on YouTube are saying he's ruining comedy, saying he makes comedy for liberals, saying he's too safe, like he's intentionally trying not to offend the powers that be. That's interesting. That's interesting. Um, I don't. It's interesting. Comedy for liberals. That's a part that's making me say interesting, and then intentionally trying not to offend the powers that be. I don't know to that. This is what I have to say to that though is we need people at various places along the line. And for example, I'll give you an example. I don't identify as a Christian anymore. I do follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. And I'm also very aware that Christianity, as it is being peddled today, is very much a white supremacist, power structure, Zionist conglomeration of foolishness right about now. Um, but I do understand that there are people that are in churches who are asking questions. And so there's also a particular language that is spoken in religion, if you will. And so there have to be people who are fluent in that language, who are able to push the envelope to get people to start asking questions so that they can work themselves to the truth of whatever it is that they need to find. And so somebody like Josh, um, I appreciate he's traveling around the country, around the world with captive audience, both physically and virtually. Again, both are necessary. And he is pushing people's understanding of what's happening. He is enlightening some people into what is happening. And he's doing that in a way that allows us to be able to have some joy and laughter in the middle of all this fuckery and foolishness that's happening. And it's necessary. It is really necessary. And I remember when I started the Frolicking Truth, and I be coming hard sometimes. I went back and watched it. I was in the marathon. I was listening to myself. Sometimes I was coming in like, listen, nah, listen. Okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. Okay. Also, I said what I said. Okay, but sometimes people need to receive a message in a different medium, in a different way. And so that's why we need them all, right? It's not one or the other. So comedy is a way to be able to make you start asking yourself questions. Music is a way. Artwork. Oh, I didn't tell y'all this. This is what I decided. This is like a bittersweet type of decision, but it's necessary. Y'all see this painting behind me is a painting that I've painted here, but I'm an artist and I paint. So there's artwork that is being fostered in the US right now, as well as this painting. And there's another canvas over here that's been blank for a while that I need to paint. I decided that I'm going to do an auction at the cookout to sell my paintings for those who do have physical spaces that you're able to give it a place of honor. Um, so I'll have these two here, and then I want to say, oh God, I don't know. There might be 7 or 8 paintings in Brooklyn that need to get sold. But that's what I'm gonna do. And that's gonna also help me, I think, to raise funds. Plane tickets are a lot of money. Um and moving and shifting. It's a lot of logisticals that need to happen. Also, shout out $ Kimberlyn Jackson if you are feeling like you want to bless a sister, praise God. Also, I do have a Amazon wish list. Let me tell you why it's through Amazon. Because We did regular mailing, and the package was delayed for like, it took us maybe 4 to 5 months to get it, and the charges that they had on it were astronomical and did not match the value of what was there. And so the Amazon wish list is the safest way and most reliable way to be able to get things to me. So I do have a gift list. If you go to tinyurl.com/operation relocation, then you can support me with that. And I'm updating it to, it may seem like it's a bunch of random things, but it's things that I'm not going to be able to necessarily easily get where I'm going. So I wanted to say that. But we need people in every aspect of life. We need people from massage therapists to nail technicians to cosmetologists to comedians, singers, painters, poets, authors. All of us need to get activated because there are people who are coming and asking questions. And so our job is to be able, in our own way, whatever our own gift is, whatever our own thing is, right? If you a nerd and your nerd thing is trains, right? And you're like, well, maybe you help people to understand how we can benefit from using the rail system right now, which will allow us to continue to be able to get around from one place to another, because they are severely limiting the access to air travel. Like, let your thing be your thing. And also, there are people that you're going to touch and interact with that need to be able to hear what it is that needs to be said. Granola Clausen said, Josh ain't never hurt nobody. And that's the thing, is that people gonna always find a problem. Always. They're gonna always find a problem. Always. Always. And so if we adopt the I'm talking to who I'm talking to type of vibe, then we know. And this is why community is so important. Josh is in the chat. This past week, it was 15,000 people that were watching. I don't know how many of us were in the chat, but there were 15,000 people who were watching that show live at Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is a captive audience. We need to utilize that. Listen, Rolando said in 2016, I couldn't do news or current events unless it came with a little comedy. I appreciate comedians. They have a role, y'all. We have to be able to laugh. We have to. We have to. We are going to lose ourselves if we don't remain in contact with our joy. And that's the difference. If you want to know, that's the difference between us and the people who are supporting this systemic oppression. We actually have the ability to have joy. We actually have that. They do not. And so their work is to get us to divorce ourselves from our joy, from our practices that keep us grounded, whether that's laughing, whether that's twerking. Okay, release that trauma from them hips. Okay, let that backbone slip. You feel me? We have to be able to remember that we are human, we are people, we are doing the work to prepare for this new world. We have to stay in touch with that. They want us to be disconnected from that. So we need the comedians. We need the comedians, and we need the animators. We need the video editors. We need people who are saying, I want to use my gifts in order to impact change. And I want to do that in a way that is also going to bring me joy at the same time, because this is something that I love to do. Mhm. So, yeah, we've been doing a lot of dreaming and wondering, imagining, reflecting, and honing in and ensuring that we are putting respect on what we're actually doing. Because that'd be the other thing. When we are good at something, like when you're naturally good at something, it's very easy to just be like, this is light work. This is light work and I'm not really doing anything. But you're actually doing a lot. It's just that you're gifted to do that. So it feels like it's easy to you. Um, it's important for us to really put some respect on what we do and who we are and how we show up in the world, because we are lighthouses. Like, we are all lighthouses going out into the world, and there are people who are saying to themselves that there's got to be a better way. Shout out to Amanda Seals, and we gonna make it. It's gotta be a better way. Listen, there is a better way, but we have to create it. We have to create it. And when we're in spaces where we're able to imagine and to be able to be in like these synergistic environments, again, where you can tell somebody something and they pick it up and then they're like, oh, and we can do this and this and this and this, right? It might not appear immediately, but it's been caught. And now we can plan to execute that. It matters. It matters. And excuse me, there are so many of us who are behind the scenes orchestrating the things that when you're ready, we can just plug you in. Because somebody's looking for you. There is somebody who's saying to themselves, man, if I could just find somebody who blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, I can't tell you how many times people show up here and they're like, where have you been my whole life? I'm like, child, I've been over here waiting on you. I've been over here waiting on you. Go back to the marathon and see me talking about how I'm sitting here waiting on you. I'm so glad you're here. Right? And there are people who are showing up like, oh my God, I've been trying to find you. This is crazy. It's a thing. It's a thing. So, I told y'all the people are coming and more people are coming. And when they get here, we want to make sure that we have spaces to be able to connect them to, where not only do they find healing, but they also find joy and they find peace and they find community and they find skills. Did I show y'all? I don't know if I was here. I don't know how long I've been gone and what happened while I was gone, but I have learned some sign language. Okay. And I don't remember all of it, but I want to show you what I do remember. Okay. Oh, this is good, Abby. She said, some are lighthouses, some are bridges, and we all play a part. Yeah, everybody has their own part. Everybody has their own thing that they're supposed to be doing. And that's why we can't look at what somebody else is doing and be like that, ooh, they advocating. Just because everybody can't be on the picking line. Everybody can't be on the front lines of the picking line. Like, that's not everybody's role. Somebody got to make sure they eat when they get done. Okay. Somebody got to make sure they eat. Somebody got to make sure people got water. Somebody got to make sure that things are clean. Somebody got to make sure that we got the instructions. We got the SOPs. We got all of this matters. All of it. All of it. So yeah, we gotta get it together. Now wait, I forgot what I was gonna do. What I was about to say. I was about to tell y'all something. Child, this perimenopause. When I tell y'all, when my brain be on, it be on. But when it don't be on, it don't be on. What the hell was I finna say? Girl, where your brain be, girl? Hold on. Let me go back in the recording. Hold on. What I said. My brain really be like, nope, nope, we're not doing it. We're not going. I don't care. I don't care what you say. I don't remember time. I can't even. I can't even. Oh, I was about to show y'all. That's what it was. I was going to show y'all sign language. Okay, let me show you real quick. Let me show you real quick what I learned. Okay, I remember. I remember. No, it's okay. It's okay, Abby. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But girl, that's how quick it be gone. It be gone, huh? Okay, so we learned sign language to Hero, the song Hero by Mariah Carey. There's a hero. Yeah, I don't remember all the things, but I do remember some. So I remember that Hero, this is Hero, is you go like this. So that means like you're looking, this means this is to look, this is look. Okay. So when you look, this is you looking up to somebody, and this means person. So when you say this, that means hero. This is a person that I look up to. You see, I look up to this person. Okay. So there's a hero. Okay. And then when you look inside your heart, okay, you don't have to be afraid of what you are. I don't remember that part. I don't remember that part either. Answer when you. Okay, when she goes, when you reach into your soul. Okay, so this is your heart. Wait, that's my right hand. Okay, so you reach into your soul, and as you reaching into your soul, and the soul that you know will melt away. That's melt away. Okay, then a hero comes along. That means you meet. This means to meet. Okay, meet. With the strength. Okay, we know that one. To carry on. I feel like she said this was step by step, and you cast your fears aside. And you know you can survive. Okay, so survive is like you're pulling yourself off up a ledge, and you know you can't survive. And when you feel like hope is gone, wait, was it look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth. I don't remember that part. Okay, but hero, there's a hero lies in you. Whoa, whoa. I don't remember the rest. I'm gonna have to look it up. But this is what I want us to practice. I want us to practice our alphabet. Okay. Now you can do the alphabet with either hand. Um, I'm gonna try to do it. I had been practicing with just my right hand, but I'm gonna try to practice with both. Okay. So we have A, B. Can y'all see my fingers? Okay. C. D is with your index finger. Okay. So D, and then you put a hole in there like a D. Okay. E, E. Wait. E, E. Okay. E, F, G. So you like do like this, but turn it this. G, H, two fingers. I, J, you do like the letter J. K, so you take your thumb and put it in between there. K, L, M is 3. You know how when you write an M? So M, put your thumb over there. N, O, P is like K but down. So P, Q is like G but down. Q, R, S is, oh, S. S is out here. S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I learned that in the sign language class. We also learned how to count. I don't really remember that part, but I want to learn sign language. I would love to be the person that I'm walking around the world and I run into somebody. Look, there's some nerd shit. And I run into somebody and they speak a different language and I'm able to like translate for them, or they speak a different language because there's some type of ability situation. So I also want to learn how to read Braille. Um and I would love to be able to speak sign language. This is thank you. I remember. Um, oh, and so if you don't know how, like the actual word, that's why the alphabet is important. So my name is Kim. Kim. I wouldn't spell out Kimberlin. That's a lie. I would be there for a while. KIMBERLAND. Well, that wasn't too bad. But yeah, so anyway, I want to learn how to speak sign language. And so I'm working on that. And yeah, we'll see what else pops up and what else comes into my world. I am back live now, pending whatever it looks like. I am moving. I do not know where I'm going. I also do not know what I'm going to share publicly. Um, so definitely, if you want more information about that, you'll have to be in the archive. But I'm figuring all of that out. I really can use every piece of support. I don't care if you think about me and you be like, all I got is $2, baby. Thank you. Send it over here. That could help me buy a tomato and an onion. Okay, so I can make me a salad. But yeah, so $ Kimberlyn Jackson. You can also buy me a coffee at Kimberlyn J if that feels like something you would like to do. Also, if you're interested in life coaching, being coached, becoming a life coach, if you go to dyd25.com, then you can find out more information about Discover Your Destiny. There's also a self-paced workbook that is available. So if you are like, it's a lot to be able to do it at a particular pace and you want to take your time, that's also available. I'm also available for one-to-one coaching. And yeah, in the meantime, y'all holler at me down to the archive. Y'all come on into the archive and see what's going on down to the archive and hang out with us and see things and meet the people and see the spaces that are coming up. Mark your calendars for September 6th for the cookout. And again, I'll remind y'all next Saturday, but we're going to be recording our first episodes of Let's Talk Sis podcast next Saturday, immediately following the Frolicking Truth. So I will be back here next Saturday. And So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese will be back live next Saturday. Tomorrow, we're going to have a marathon for So You Don't Put Syrup on Your Grilled Cheese. Okay. So we'll have episodes running all day, continuing on with what is happening in the universe that will be running. So you can meet us in the chat if that feels like something you want to do. Just come in and say hi. Make sure you've liked this video. Make sure you leave a comment if you're here with us live, me and the community live. Once we finish, if you will go in and leave a comment and or some sunflowers, something to support the algorithm. And please do share this with the people that you feel might need to hear a word, have a laugh, do the things, okay? I do not have a closing quote for today because I'm still trying to get my shit together, So what I want to say, let me reach back in the Rolodex of all the things that's in my mind. This is one of my favorite quotes. And I'm going to quote myself. Every step in the right direction is a step in the right direction, no matter how small. I need to remind myself of that because I have a lot of things that I have to do. And it sometimes feels like I'm not making a dent in what I need to do. And so I want to put some respect on the fact that everything that I am doing is moving me closer to where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to do, even if I don't see the ripples that are happening out here in the distance. That there are blessings that are on the way to me. There are people that are on the way to me. There are spaces and funding and donations, and those things are making their way to me. And every step that I take in the right direction is a step in the right direction, no matter how small. That's what I got for y'all today, okay? I appreciate you. I love y'all. I really, really do. I really, really do. Come holla at us again in the archive, patreon.com/minding my black ass business. If you see me out here in these streets, make sure you drop me some sunflowers, holla at your girl, say all the things. Smoochers. Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Frolicking Truth, where joy meets justice and our nervous systems get free. Please be sure to like, rate, and comment. Subscribe to the YouTube page, Minding My Black Ass Business, and follow me on all social platforms. Until next time.